Joanna, certainly not, of course, the result you wanted, but a very incredibly entertaining, competitive, fun fight tonight. How did you feel? Obviously, not getting the win, but how did you feel about your performance this evening?
I'm very proud of myself, and I feel totally different than we met last time at the garden in November. Like, I wanna smile, and I feel great, and I'm very proud of myself. So I'm totally fine. I'm in good mood, not like last time at the garden when I met you guys. And when I heard when I heard Bruce Buffer saying the numbers, how the judges scored the card, I was like, okay, I expected that I was going to win by split decision, but when I heard the difference, I was like, okay, we've got the win easy, even same my coaches. So it was really big surprise, and the numbers don't lie. 142 to 84, and landed 132 strikes from me, 83 from Rose. That's the answer. That's the answer.
Were you guys scoring the rounds as you went along? Do you do that in the corner? Do you know what rounds you thought you won? Because,
yeah, we thought like the second round was like super like close, but man, like more kicks from me, and I felt great. You could see me like, she got out from the third round, and I was more than ready to go with every round. I could fight 10 more rounds. And at the end, every break, I was like on my feet, ready to go. And that's the thing. If I knew that they were like scoring the cards like this, I didn't leave the fight in judges' hands. But I felt like I could do more, even, But I felt I was winning the fight. I felt I was winning the fight, and I'm not complaining like that I lost or not. I'm really different fighter. I have done so much for myself and for this sport. I feel great.
Joanna, last thing for me, you're focused on positivity and the changes and all those good things, but where do you go from here? We've seen throughout history, it's tough sometimes for, a challenger to be 0-2 against a champion to get that third fight. Do you feel like the fight tonight deserves a third fight somewhere down the line, or do you have to focus on other goals for now?
Of course. Right now, I spent like a long 10 weeks in Coconut Creek training with my coaches, Mikey Brown, Katel Kubis, Phil Daru, Daya Davis, Kelson, and other people from ATT. Far away from my family right now. I want to just go on vacation on Tuesday and go back to Poland on Sunday next week. I just enjoy my time, that's it. And I will see, but I feel like, man, this fight was so close, and like I said, people were asking why I've got the rematch, and if I was going to give the rematch if I won the fight. But I was the champ for a reason, for a long time. So I think there is not born yet a female fighter who is going to tie Ronda Rousey's record or my record.
Joanna, is this tougher for you to take than the first loss where you get knocked out and you're clearly on this one when you feel like you win? Is it a tougher loss to accept?
Actually, it's easier, man. I was so successful in my fighting career, and I'm proud of myself. That's it, I see losing totally different way, And like I said, my first fight with Rose, the weight cut really impact my performance. 14 hours of weight cut, of dying. So you could imagine how my body felt in the first fight. But I gave everything I had this time.
And then I just was wondering, your kicks were very effective, and you had a lot of welts on her leg. Did you feel like that, wasn't maybe taken into account enough because, you were doing damage to her lead leg with your kicks?
Say again, the first part of the question?
Just saying, did you feel like maybe they didn't score the kicks well enough, because it seems like you did a lot of damage to her lead leg, and did you feel like maybe that was something that was overlooked?
Let's see how she's going to walk tomorrow.
Quick question over here. You already answered the weight cut question, so I'll skip that, but is 125 still a possibility for the future, or do you want to come back and try and fight Rose again?
We will see. When I've been competing in Muay Thai and MMA before I joined the UFC, I was competing in 125 and it was easy. But I put on great work with my diet, this camp for first 5 weeks. I dropped my weight to 128, so I was pretty light the whole camp. After that, I started working with George Lockhart, but I used my knowledge as well. But we put on great work, so we will see. I feel great in 115 division, but you know, we will see. We will see where I will go after the vacation. I will sit and talk to Dana, to the matchmakers.
A question for Joanna. She said afterwards that she felt heavy, that she wasn't technical, she didn't seem happy with her performance. What did you make of her compared to the first time? I know it's a much longer fight, but what did you think of her performance?
She feel like it was good or not?
She seemed critical of herself. She said she felt heavy.
Heavy?
And not very technical, she said.
Oh, I don't know. You know, the first round always is like about reading each other, you know? So, I don't know. I'm not Rose. I'm Joanna, and I know that I put on a hell of great performance and great fight tonight.
Do you recall, I know it's kind of fresh, but do you recall specifically which rounds you thought you won for sure?
I don't know. I must sit and talk to my coaches again, watch the fight. But the second round, I thought was split. We saw the judges' cards. Everyone was scoring different round for different fighter. But the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie, and the significant strikes are telling the truth, you know.
JJ over here. I know you're fresh off the loss, but how much longer do you see yourself fighting?
You want me to stop fighting?
No. I said, how much longer do you see yourself fighting?
I don't know. We will see. We will see. We will see.
And do you think the performance you had tonight would beat anybody else in the division?
Hey, come on. You can see the other female strawweights fighting and compare me to them. Come on. They cannot compare themselves to me. They cannot. They all are only jealous and talking too much, you know, all the time. I'm telling to them, bow down, bow down. I'm the queen.
Is there anybody particularly you want to see in your next fight?
Say again?
Anybody particularly you want to see in your next fight? Anybody particularly you want to see in your next fight?
I don't know. The best. The best. Thank you, guys.
What's up, gang? The gate was over $3 million. The attendance is 17,026, a full sellout. This is the highest grossing sporting event in Barclays history. Madison Square Garden, we're number 1 and number 3. Here, we're number 1 and number 2. So we broke our own record tonight. Ridiculous considering the week we had, but amazing. Very happy. Let me see. Fight of the night. I don't think there's any. Zabit, that fight was the fight of the night. Mercier gets a bonus, and Chris for the stoppage of Joe Lozone. They all won $50,000. Congratulations to them. Anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, Dana, I just want to get your thoughts on Khabib's performance tonight. I mean, obviously Al was gutsy as well, but I wanted to hear what you thought about Khabib and just the whole week. I mean, everything that he went through to be able to take, 3 different opponents in a week and all the melee and all that stuff and still turn in a performance like that.
I think Khabib's performance was amazing. I honestly believe there's 3 guys in this company or in fighting that would have stayed and done and stayed in the fight. No doubt Conor McGregor, okay, Cowboy Cerrone, and Khabib. I mean, the stuff that this guy went through, physically, emotionally, mentally, this week, many people. I've been on the side where the guy who is the champ and is had a full camp won't take a guy who's coming off a short. No, I mean, it just doesn't happen. And what that guy's been through, and he came in and he fought. And much respect to Al too. He didn't show up for a paycheck. He came to win. He's a tough guy.
And just to be clear for the record, the belt that Khabib has is the only belt, right? No Tony Ferguson, no Conor McGregor, no belts.
Say that again?
The belt that Khabib has is now the only
That's
the only
it.
belt
That's
at
the only
155?
belt.
Okay.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I'm curious. I mean, after the fight, he calls out George St. Pierre, says that's the fight he wants. Not Conor McGregor, not Tony Ferguson. What were your thoughts on that? Is that a fight you're interested in?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, do you like the idea of him fighting George St. Pierre? Or do you like the idea of, I know you said you never booked Tony.
I don't have any ideas after this week, man. My brain is scrambled and I am a physical mess. I'm praying for Sunday. I'm so glad that this is over, and there was just such a positive outcome for the company. And again, I have to thank the fans too. There were no returns. Actually, tickets picked up and sold, and it's incredible. So thank you to the fans. Some of the people, when I was walking in, some of the fans were saying, thank God you didn't cancel this. I flew in from London. It cost me 10 grand this weekend and things like that. So a shit show turned into something pretty good.
I did want to ask you real quickly. I saw you talking with the commission cage side tonight. She had done an interview and said that Paul Felder was never even presented as an option to the commission. Can you comment on it and clarify what happened?
Yeah, let me tell you this: the commission was awesome. The commission was outstanding, and I want to thank them for hanging in there with us this week too. Yeah, I mean, listen, they have their rules and regs here, and it is what it is,
Okay. Seemed like some confusion, but.
Huh?
Seemed like some confusion that you would hope to get Paul in there, but they said that it never even was considered.
Yeah, and just to clear something up too, I don't want to give this guy any publicity because he loves it, but that greasy, slimy rat, Espinoza, talking about how we break the rules and all this other shit. What is that? What's that guy? Oh my God! Just keep trying to be HBO and don't worry about what the fuck we're doing. You slimy little rat.
Just last thing for me, Dana, real quick. I know it's only been 24 hours since we last talked to you, but any updates at all on the Conor McGregor situation from him? Any change at all in that situation?
His what?
Just the situation in general, your relationship, his legal situation.
We talked.
Any updates?
We talked yesterday.
How did it go?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think that there's a mutual respect between us, and obviously this week, I had so many things thrown at me this week. To focus on the show was insane. We'll get back and we'll focus on Conor McGregor.
Right now, Dana, you don't have any firm, plan of attack or of what you're going to do action-wise with Conor?
No. No, no.
You you obviously had something in mind before he gets to New York. Were you looking at
He
him
didn't come to New York to do anything with me. He jumped on a plane with all those guys to come to New York for the Khabib thing. That's not true. He came to New York for Khabib.
What were you
He
thinking?
didn't come here to meet me.
What were you thinking though, like date-wise, as to when he would fight again?
I didn't even know Conor was here. There was like this thing at the press conference where a couple of guys at the press were like, they acted like they knew something, like he was coming here to meet, or he was coming here, you know? So no, I didn't know anything about him coming here.
But did you have a date in mind for him? Like you wanted him to fight when?
Yeah.
Even before all this happened?
September. We had talked about him fighting in September.
Do you think that's still possible at all?
I don't know. You can't ask me anything about Conor. I don't know anything about Conor. I haven't thought about it. There's nothing to think about this week except for this event.
I think in every weight class, you want the guy who's the champion to be to feel like he is the best fighter in the division. Did you feel that way at the end of the fight with Khabib tonight?
Did I feel like he? Yeah. I mean, Khabib's unbelievable. The fact that Khabib got through this week, stayed in the fight, went out and fought tonight. It's just, that guy, you know, he was just telling me, I haven't been home to see my kids since September. You know, he's telling me everything that he's been through to get to tonight. And then to get here this week, it's draining, man. I'm drained, and I didn't do shit. I'm drained, you know? I couldn't imagine going through the week that I went through and then having to go fight. It's just, I can't imagine.
Hi, Dana. Igor Lazarev from News Agency TASS Russia. Do you have any agreements about UFC tournament in Russia? And if I understand right, Khabib will not participate in this event.
About us coming to Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been saying it for a long time. We're definitely coming to Russia. But that's all the information I have about it. I know.
And how about Khabib?
That's all I got.
And how about Khabib, if this tournament will be?
Khabib fighting in Russia? Yeah. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I think if we go to Russia, we'll probably have a fight first without him, and then it would be awesome to have a huge fight with him. Thank you. Kev?
Dana, could you possibly, I wasn't going to ask you this, but could you possibly do Khabib and Conor in Russia with security situation?
Could I
what? Would you
what?
be able to do that?
Could I what?
Could you do Khabib versus Conor in Russia?
Oh, my God.
With security?
I don't know. Seriously, I really can't answer any Conor questions till I, you know,
this
thing's
question
got to play out. He's got to go to court in June.
This question, you know, indirectly about Conor, is the company in better or worse shape today after the events of this week? You know, because there's positives and negatives. The positive, obviously, you kept the show together and had a great night. You know, the negative, of course, your biggest star is arrested and looked like a fool. I mean, so is the company in better or worse shape than it was coming into the week?
We're in way better shape. Way better shape. Yeah, in a perfect world, it'd be great if Conor didn't show up and do that. And obviously, I didn't see that coming, or I would have tried very hard to prevent that. But yeah, I mean, we broke a record tonight. We broke the arena record for the highest gross, and we broke our own record. And we didn't just break it; we blew it out of the water. We beat it by almost $1 million. So yeah, and the pay-per-views were great too. So yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, is there any tangential damage that comes with the impressions that were created by what happened the other day? Because I know how hard you guys have worked to create a different image.
Right. Well, what happened. We can't change that, unfortunately. But yeah, we just have to move. Listen, people say to me, oh, this looks so bad for the sport and everything else. I agree, it doesn't look good. But at the end of the day, there's a lot worse that goes on in all the other sports. So. Take a dolly through a window any day. Yeah.
And then from, just to talk about Khabib, when you look at the level of grappling he has, everybody knows what that is, but he went in there against Al, and he stood and struck with him for 2 or 3 rounds, right? And I mean, Al didn't train for a 5-round fight, I get that, but I mean, he looked pretty good striking too. I mean, he's developing into an all-around fighter, not just a one-dimensional guy. Would you not agree?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously his move, putting you down on the ground, and when he pins and traps that arm and then just starts smashing you, it's a lot tougher to do with a guy who's a wrestler like Al. Al's got good ground game, strong kid too, and has knockout power. And it was, I mean, Al said it at the press conference, I have everything to gain and nothing to lose, whereas Khabib has everything to lose. And I think that's the type of fight that Khabib fought tonight, and on top of all the stuff that's happened to him too.
Dana, just any thoughts on Rose Namajunas' title defense tonight? How did you just think she looked? And what do you feel about Joanna Jedrzejczyk now that she's in that kind of weird 0-2 contender spot that we've seen some fighters in the past?
Who, Rose?
Yeah. Rose's position now.
No, Rose looked incredible. I mean, if you look at how much she's grown since The Ultimate Fighter, she looked amazing tonight. And Joanna did too. It was a great fight. I had it 2-2 going into the last round, and it was awesome. I was literally just in the back doing an interview, and I'm sitting there talking, and Rose is standing right in front of me, doing an interview, and she's back there walking around and doing her thing. How many fights have we seen with those type of leg kicks, where as soon as the fight is over, they walk around a little bit, and then the announcement, they can't even walk. They have to be carried out of the octagon, and then I'll go in the back, and you'll see people on wheelchairs, or they get transported. That little girl is walking around back there on both legs. It's pretty impressive.
And I only asked this because you did mention Steven Espinoza on your own, but Floyd Mayweather did an interview tonight on the Lara broadcast, and he said if he were to fight in the UFC, he would want Showtime and CBS to be involved. So with that said, and your thoughts on Espinoza?
That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
So that could be a roadblock to Floyd actually fighting in the UFC if that's realistic.
We'll do it on HBO.
Dana, you've had a bit of a rocky relationship with Iaquinta over the years, over the last year or so. What do you make of him now?
I mean, I've had rocky relationships with you should know that, Ariel, with just about, everybody at one point or time. But, I've never not respected Al Iaquinta. I think Al was more upset with us than we were with Al. Or I don't know what his, what he was upset about, but we weren't upset with him. It happens. Listen, we're all in business together, and these things happen. But I have a lot of respect for him for stepping up and taking this fight.
And have you talked to GSP recently?
Who, GSP?
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked recently.
Okay. So you don't know if he's at all interested in this challenge from Khabib?
No, I haven't talked to GSP, and I definitely haven't talked to GSP about fighting.
Okay.
I think that I hit his agent a month and a half ago about something, but I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what it was. It was about a fight, but it might have been Woodley. I don't remember.
Is it possible to clarify what you said about Brock yesterday? Because you said he's still under contract. How is he under contract while still under contract with WWE?
Because he retired from UFC, he retired from MMA.
So when he came at UFC 200, he signed a multi-fight deal?
I think so. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, Brock still has a contract with us.
Okay, and has he told you that his intention is to return?
Has he told me what?
That his intention is to return to
he
UFC?
Wants to come back.
Yeah? So that picture you took, was that sort of when he told you that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to WrestleMania tomorrow?
Did what?
Are you going to WrestleMania tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. For Brock or for Ronda?
For Ronda.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last one.
I didn't even know Brock was in it till you just said that.
Come on.
Swear to God, I didn't know that.
I think he's the main event.
I've been a little busy.
Sure. When do you expect to announce your TV plans for 2019 and beyond, the contract?
When do I?
You expect to announce your TV, the news of where you're going, like what's going on with the TV contract?
I don't know. I guess when it's done.
Is it close?
I think so.
Could you tell us with who?
No.
Yeah, I didn't. You mentioned on Wednesday that this was a bit of an apology card because of the last one. I wouldn't say an apology card is needed because this was really good, but it was such a, as you said, shit show. What are we getting next time? Are we getting 5 title fights and Brock Fedor? What are we getting?
Hey, I'll tell you what. You know, obviously we were bringing an incredible card here with this trip, but this card was good tonight. It was very good, and obviously I would have liked a different outcome on the main event for it to be Tony versus Khabib, but. We pulled it off, man. It was good fights. It was entertaining. The crowd was into it, and every time we come to New York, we're trying to bring our A game. So,
what did you think of the crowd booing during some of the fights that maybe weren't deserved to be booed?
It happens. We've been to places where that happens. Listen, the problem is when you just get done seeing the Zabit fight, right? It's like every other fight. Now, no matter what happens, unless you just stand in front of each other and go toe to toe, it's tough. It's tough to roll in after a fight like that. Go ahead, buddy.
Who will be next opponent of Rose Namajunas, or who is closer, Jessica Andrade or maybe Karolina Kowalkiewicz after this fight against Herrick?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure, but you know, she looks great. She looks amazing, and I know Claudia has a fight coming up, and Carolina looked good tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I usually don't talk about what's next the night of the fight.
But Carolina, what is your opinion about this fight, Carolina's fight?
Yeah, she looked great. She looked great. It was a great fight, and Felice looked good too. I mean, that was a tight fight, and both those guys looked good. That was another good fight. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Hello.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
To your left. Hi.
Oh.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
In the first fight, you had a lot of success shifting to your left and throwing the left. That didn't seem to be as successful. What adjustments did she make, and what counter adjustments were you going after to try and capitalize on that?
She had a lot better, I think, range this time. You know, I think her conditioning was, or she just stepped it up. You know, she improved in general, and my hat's off to her. You know, this entire camp, I was just thinking about how she did it for 5 times in a row. You know, so it's I have a lot of respect for her.
And one last question. Was there ever any thought about not fighting after the nonsense in the bus?
Yeah, I did. But I think a lot of times leading up to many fights, I think that, or I'll doubt myself or I'll question myself, but the voice was strong this time.
So what do you do to get yourself through that and kind of move past that stage?
You know, I've just been in tough spots before. I've had manual fights before, and they were, you know, like autopilot kind of thing. And this was just another level of that, a new challenge, a new, you know, new development in my growth, and so I welcome that. And yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know, just prove to myself that I can once again face my fears, and it'll pay off.
And you won the first 2 rounds of the fight, and then the only round they gave her was the third, and then you got the fourth and the fifth. When you lose that third round, what do you do to kind of? It seemed like maybe the momentum was shifting a little bit, then you got it back. What do you do there?
I just kept saying I'm the best. Just kept saying that to myself, I'm the best. And eventually, I just let go of. Just had to accept that my feet aren't moving as well, or you know, I just kind of abandoned the game plan a little bit and just went out there and had fun and was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna slug instead of trying to be quick right now, because it's obviously not working.
And I know you kind of acknowledged that, you know, with everything Joanna said about the first fight, you said maybe she did have a bad weight cut, maybe that did affect her performance. When you saw her tonight, and she says she was, you know, 100%, did you feel a different fighter in there?
I felt like she stepped up her respect for me, I think. So yeah, I think, and she did improve, I think, in all areas, not just, I don't think it's just the weight cut either, you know. I think that had something to do with it maybe, but, you know, she did improve.
And I know you don't want to look too far ahead. This is a tough 5-round fight, but who do you see as like the next big challenger for you in this weight class?
Man, I don't know.
Jessica Andrade, maybe?
I mean, that's definitely a name that pops into my head, you know. But so far, just one day at a time.
Let's talk about the game plan coming into this one. You know, you got the late takedown, and I think in the first matchup and this matchup, I think we all thought your grappling might play a big role, and instead it seems like you just wanted to go straight out there and slug it out. I mean, was there a reason or was that in the game plan at all to grapple, or if not, was there a reason?
You know, my game plan is always punch him in the face, take their back, and choke him out, and then I kind of just have to go with what is, you know, what I'm given in the fight, as well as what I have to work with. So, you know, I didn't feel like I had the snap in my body for some reason. You know, I think it's just maybe an adrenaline dump before the fight even happened. Might have had something to do with it. I'm not really sure, but this is a lot of pressure, a lot of, you know, a lot of things to overcome. But I did it, so. Okay.
I was going to say, because of that, I mean, as dominant as the first win was, is there any part of this that's maybe a little more satisfying, like maybe knowing that you didn't have your A game and had to make some adjustments and doing it over the course of 5 rounds? Is there any kind of victory you can take out of that?
I think so, you know. But I've done it before, you know, where I feel like, okay, I know exactly what I need to improve next time, you know. So I guess this is just another level of that. And I don't know. I just really enjoyed a fight. So this is gonna go down as one of my, I guess, another great experience.
Nice. And last thing for me, Rose. I mean, you talked about just now that there was thoughts of maybe not fighting. Can you just I mean, what was so difficult about the moment in the bus? And you know, we heard a lot of reports that you were pretty shaken up about it. What went through your mind, and what was so difficult about it for you?
Well, the chair nearly came at my window. You know, thankfully to the bus driver, he was on point. He was backing up the bus as it came to my window, but it ended up hitting Michael Chiesa in the head instead, you know, unfortunately. So thanks, Michael. You know, I don't know. It shook me up just because it was such a, like, I didn't know how far it was going to escalate. You know, all the guys inside, they wanted to fight back, and they wanted to go, you know, jump out of the bus. But I'm like, I don't know if they're going to open the door and they're going to all come in, and who, you know, they're obviously not directly after me, but I'm just caught in this scenario, so I don't know. My imagination goes crazy, and just through all the things that I've been through in the past, I know that anybody can have a gun or a knife, or, you know, we don't know. And so I jumped to the negative pretty quickly, and So yeah, it was a lot of thoughts going into this fight. But I'm just grateful to be in one piece and to be happy, healthy, and safe.
Rose, I asked you the other day how it would feel to hear and new. So when you finally heard it, how'd that feel?
How do I feel about and new or?
Yeah, hearing Bruce Buffer say and new.
I mean, and still, like I don't know if I heard that. No, it's pretty cool. You know, I have to get used to that. You know, it's pretty nice.
Give some insight to how Trevor, when she made that adjustment in the third round, it seemed like Trevor kind of calmed you down going into that fifth round. What did he say to you to kind of get you like refocused and be able to get that last round?
He asked me if I was having fun, and I said, heck yeah. So that's I think the key tonight was just to let go and not worry about, you know, not treating it so much like a job, and just go out there and have fun, and whatever happens, happens.
There's a lot of people throwing out Carolina's name as a next opponent. Is that somebody you want to see to avenge that loss, or it doesn't matter?
I definitely like to right that wrong. I think she's a great competitor, and I have a lot of respect for her as well. So at the same time, there's all kinds of strawweight competitors out there, but she's definitely one on the list.
Any other questions? Rose, can you take pictures on the side with the belt? Thank you. Thanks, Rose. Congrats. I think it's gonna.
like they like I'm like a sexy like I don't know stuff like that dude. Well, yeah, like, you know, they like want to do like shoes drop off here and there. So they come to time and they want to do this stuff. That's what we do. Somebody make their own shoes. Also do like shoes like this whole scoop in there. Or something. So it was two, you got two dudes right here about that life. One because I think it's real, and one because that same. You're good. Yeah, no bullshit. Hey, this is like $50,000. Those are how we say I've definitely seen people like I don't know how some things yeah, on Wi-Fi. You on Wi-Fi?
play ball for coaches too. It's like that's just like forcefully retired. Take off and coaches and kids. I got one. Thank you. It's cold out. You get that little holiday, you got to Yankees, you get the ball. Sorry, that's like no fun. They'll go to Hall of Fame though. But yeah, that what he did in Philadelphia got him to the Hall of Fame. He was on a high level, but that change was, yeah, that kind of stuff. He still probably was up years ago. When he was sheer fire. He was sheer fire once he got to Philadelphia. He also came out of nowhere. I'm talking to Jay Williams on basketball. He had a brand new, like, really fastest motorcycle in the world. And he just like, it's basically the first tour at the beginning, like 2 weeks over. So you have to how bad is that? You have to motorcycle around the pole. He never was the same, career-wise, but he was around. Like, you know, when Jay Williams never say basketball, I just said, you need to follow the time. Which one was the best one? I couldn't tell you. They both solid. They both acts. One of the big ass dudes, they be trying to draw stuff. Know that they have to use the blockers. That's why y'all make it. Stars, I ain't my stars. Yeah, but you don't have the help again. I don't even know what's called to help you.
Sure, but I don't.
That's how we got the marriage. One of them, they never helped at the same time. And the one which they would have been just playing for the playoffs. It's like, it could have been.
There's been so much bullshit. Reality that this two people got involved in.
I remember everybody was very all of a sudden the hockey fans died. Everybody. I remember that game on Saturday Night Live. The Cowboys had one in the social media. The Cowboys had one at the time. I don't think they won a championship with the Rangers. They were out of it. Rangers, they out of it. Talking about we don't wait till after they do. But don't let me do this. You don't even start. Like, you screw around. They like spend 50. They spent $45 million. Got those draft picks and they came to the top. They got the money in that rush. Jesus Christ. It's always 2 weeks. 4 games left. Yeah, they got to be done. At least in football, you don't know who's going to win. Even if you go somewhere, you know who's going to win. Baseball. Yeah, actually, from here, April, they look at how that thing got. And they keep the home. That's true. I don't know their contract yet. I get my boys, I was always like, ever since I know, huge ass thing. So I know they ran that dude like was last day. Yeah, because like last time we had said, I'm like, that's thing is, I'm tired today. I'm way more tired. That's why I got road. I looked from what's his face? Yeah, she just looked at her TV in her bed. I thought she was in her bed. Like, you can stuff it. That was this time she was saying thing. I was telling her, I went to JJ like no, she didn't talk about this. You can't say you never talk. I don't know how true that is. I've never felt that first. I was so tired that Mother Nature is going to get you. There's a different time there. Yeah, but I mean, what history is, I have to say, that's from the training. It's not your fault. She can't take it. I might lay it on my the back and forth, it was so good. I was like, I just actually yeah. She couldn't. Actually, try to follow. Where's the white towel? She did not help me. She gave her this. She was like, she hit me wrong. She didn't say she didn't really say so. She was a coach of yeah. Carla, what's up big fight coming up? Yeah, but I think Carlino is the winner of the night. I don't think they're winner or losers because everybody's gonna want to see her fight Rose because she knows she's the loser. I would say this. I think she think the Rose fight for even Rose gonna look at Rose Carlino gets a whole lot but I don't really think Carlino is gonna lose to her. Well, she's another one that's good. People said she's going to fight another one. Yeah. The Rose one's more tough. That's why we're going to look into just two things I heard I don't get. One is like a whole language thing. I don't know if you forget how to speak. Like it's not even about the accent. It's the fact that it's like a piece of sentences together. Like she be saying, I feel very good to be. I think it's like it's all her sort of structure is completely abstract. So you have an accent, whatever, but you don't see it. Did you have any indication that's like stop.
Oh, no, not yet. He's taking some photos right now. So.
No, of course. I don't know what I translated. I like to see that video because you were in 2013. Yeah, I asked her about it. She laughed because just because you look at the video of the well, what she told me was that she doesn't speak a lot of English. Her boyfriend's Portuguese, her parents are Portuguese, she mainly talks to Spanish. Yeah, but once again, you care. A year you guys forget how to speak English. You go to Saudi Arabia for 10 years. Yeah. Even if you change your accent, I know that your accent has changed. To me, stars get away with it.
That would be annoying because you see so many people in that 230 whatever they were making, like 265. Right. Or even 230, whatever. There's a really good guy in there right now. There's a really good right now. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, but I vaguely remember. Yeah. I mean, I know there's a guy. There's a guy who's I haven't seen the guy fight. I mean, I've seen some highlights. Yeah, it's like it doesn't have the same, raw. I mean, James Conor. Yeah, he just went all the way.
Dana's notes? Yeah.
No problem.
Can you delete that, actually?
Yeah, sure. I already made. Moment. So,
Well, Khabib, congratulations on your victory. You had a great attitude all week long, despite everything that was happening. You know, I'll fight anybody, no big deal. You know, put it all behind. But honestly, now that it's in the past, how tough was this week for you with the change in opponents, the distractions, everything? How difficult was it for you to keep your focus?
What's up, everybody? Sorry about you guys waiting a long time. You know, like, if you cannot beat anyone in this division, like Max Holloway, Quinta, or Tony Ferguson, you know, like, you make weight, you already do very good training camp, you ready, and now, if you're gonna talk about, oh, this guy different stylistic guy, you know, I need like couple months for training for this guy, how you can call yourself champion? If you're champion, if you wanna be champion, undisputed, undefeated, you have to can beat anybody, and you know. And all week I stay calm, focus. I'm focused on me because I have to make weight, and because I'm ready. That's why I still stay focused, no nervous, don't think about other stuff, and I know I cannot make mistake. Because if somebody have chance make mistake, you know, like I don't have this chance, you know, on the line belt, you know, this is why I train so long time, like since 4 or 5 years, and everything about mental.
Yep.
Thank you.
How satisfied were you with your performance this evening? It was very dominant, but you know, Al put on a good fight. He showed a lot of heart, a lot of courage. How satisfied were you with how you fought this evening?
You know, like, my team is not happy with my third and fourth round, but you know, when we go to the cage, we have plan A, only wrestling. You know, when I catch Quinta, to be honest, I think I can take him down anytime. But like, in my mind, I think, hey, like, even I fight right now, next fight I have to fight for the 5-round fights, you know, and I think, hey, I want to stay 5 round. I need feel this. I need feel this. Of course, I have a lot of fights, like 3-round fights, and after 3 rounds, I feel great. And when I go to the cage, I think, hey, I want to stay a little bit 5 round, like, watch what happened, like, feel this distance, you know.
Afterwards, you called out George St. Pierre, which was a little bit surprising for all of us. Why is that a fight that interests you? And are you saying that you would move up to 170 and fight him there? Are you inviting him to come down to 155 and challenge for your title? What's the plan?
No, please, no 170 with George St. Pierre, no. You know, like when I talked with my father like 1 year ago, he told me his dream fight, me versus George St. Pierre. Because I remember when I grew up, like 11, 12 years ago, when I'm competition in Combat Sambo Dagestan championship, like junior Combat Sambo Dagestan championship, he fight for the UFC title. And like when I grew up, I watch his fights, like all fights with my father, and he is greatest athlete who ever compete in UFC, middleweight, welterweight champion. And I hear about like he wanna come and fight in 155, take this belt, make history, become UFC 3 division champion, you know. Why not? Me versus George St. Pierre, like if I beat Conor or if I beat George St. Pierre, which one is better for my legacy? Maybe for money is Conor, but for legacy is George St. Pierre. But we don't know about money too, because me versus George St. Pierre is gonna be big fight, you know. But only respect. But if you guys ask me about, hey, he have to come back or no, I'm gonna say no. He's 35 years old. He already greatest athlete UFC, you know, and why he need come back? For what? And that's it.
Nice. And last thing for me, Khabib, I mean, we were all looking forward to the Tony Ferguson fight so much. Dana said he's never going to book it again. It's been too many times. Of course, he was emotional. What about you? Do you think that fight will ever happen? Do you want that fight to happen?
You know, I keep wanting this fight, to be honest, but you guys remember when I pulled out last time after UFC 209? You guys remember this? And UFC tell me, hey, you wanna deserve title shot? You have to fight. You have to fight with some tough guy. Okay, I make mistake, because when you have injured, this is your fault. This is your fault, nobody fault. Hey, I have a lot of injuries. I have ACL, MCL, back surgery, hand surgery, broke ribs, you know, like long time, you know, I come back, you know, I never give up. And now he have injured. This is not my fault. This is not like Dana's fault. This is his fault. Now you have injured. Please come back and fight with somebody and deserve this. And that's it, you know. Tony Ferguson is a tough guy. You know, he have 10 win streak. I don't want to talk about him trash or bad. I know he always talk trash. Like even he just pull out and he keep talking with somebody in Twitter. Hey, shut up. You pull out. You know, he keep talking, you know, like crazy. Because I told you guys, he is great fighter, but he a little bit stupid. I don't understand this guy. And you want to fight? Come back and deserve this. That's it.
Khabib, congratulations. Right over here. You've been trying for the, you know, training for a title since you were a little boy. Does it feel like now that you've won it, that it relieved a burden from you, because you've been chasing it for so many years? Like, do you feel relieved now that you finally have the belt sitting next to you?
To be honest, Kevin, I you know, I can't believe this. Something happened, like everybody talk, now you're champion, you know. I need a little bit time. Yes, I have very long way, you know, like I'm trained all my life with my father, you know, like come here, sign contract, last 6 years, more than 6 years I'm with UFC, you know. I'm very happy about this, you know. Like, you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow, and you have to stay loyal all the time with your team, with your coaches, with everybody who close with you. You know, sometimes like when you win belt, with belt coming like a lot of attention, a lot of money, like crazy stuff, a lot of crazy stuff, and I don't want this belt change me. You know, I wanna stay focused. Like next month is Ramadan coming. I wanna after Ramadan beginning training and come back this year and defend this title. You know, like I'm a little bit worried about this belt because sometimes you think, oh, now like you're UFC champion, like a lot of stuff, but I'm a little bit scared about this. I don't wanna change. I wanna be same Khabib, like before belt and after belt, and this is not about me. This is about all people around me.
Did you have a chance to speak to your dad tonight? And if you did, what did he have to say?
Yes, I already speak with him like little bit. He say, he talk about my jab, you know, like, what are you doing, you know? Because like striking is not game plan tonight. We have game plan, pressure, take him down, you know, work on ground, but you know, but sometimes, you know, I feel I'm more faster than him, and I want to use this because when you do something inside the cage, like 25 minutes inside the cage, it's more good for you than you training like 10 weeks maybe outside, like in the gym, you know. It's different. It's experience is different, you know. And I want to feel this because I have upcoming fights like even George St. Pierre, Conor, or Tony, doesn't matter. All these guys tough, and I have to be ready for everything. And that's why I use little bit jab. And okay, I'm faster than him, and I try to use, but my team is not happy about this.
And my last question for you, did the events of Thursday make you more or less interested in wanting to fight Conor for the title at some point?
Yes, why not? Hey, we have to finish this beef, chicken or something like this. He have to stop eat Burger Kings and, you know, you wanna fight, come. I told you guys, we're gonna make him humble. I told you guys, I'm gonna change this game, you know. And now only one champion. No more fake champions, no more champion who never defend his title or something like this. Now UFC have champion, and this champion wanna defend his title. You wanna fight? Come here. Inside the cage, come. Outside the cage, let me know without camera, without like all this media or like this, like man, you know, like he come when a lot of security here, outside the bus, inside the bus, security here, don't let me go out. Like he tried to, hey, come out like this, like, why you need this show up? Like, let me know, and that's it. Anytime.
Khabib, you said you're scared the belt could change you, and I know you've said in the past that you don't really like the amount of attention and how famous you are back home. I assume now that you have this belt, that attention is going to get even bigger. How are you going to handle that?
It's a very good question. I don't know. I think we're gonna see. But first of all, I have to go back, Russia. Tomorrow we have very long flight. We'll see.
And we're talking about Tony, Conor, George St. Pierre. Do you think at the end of the day you're undefeated? You want to continue this run going? Do you think you fight all these guys before your career is over?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. Who is number one contender? Let's go.
Hi, over here on your left. Going back to this fight, if you could walk us through that very first takedown that you hit in the first round where you managed to get his ankle or his foot and managed to scoop off, because it seemed like he defended that very well. Can you walk us through that if you remember it? Can you give us the details on that very first takedown?
Like how I take him down?
Yeah.
Just catch him. Like, to be honest, I didn't remember everything. I remember like single leg, take him down.
Put his leg up.
Yeah, now I understand. Okay. This is freestyle wrestling technique. And oh, yeah, Quinta is a tough guy. You know, he have very good defense, like very good chin. He had a lot of jabs, you know, and you know, like about technique. I like take down people. I think. What do you think about this?
That leads into my next question, which is in rounds 3 and 4, which your coach and team isn't happy with. It seemed to some of us, we thought it might be you really are trying out new things. You were jab and move for a round in round 3, and then fight in bursts for round 4, trying out things that you haven't done before to get experience with them in the cage. Was that what was going through your head? You said you already wanted to get 25 minutes and all that. Was it to also try new techniques?
I think it's because this week I watched too much Muhammad Ali and Fraser fight. I think that's why, because like only great fights make you a great athlete, you know. Like I think that's why I try to a little bit like move Muhammad Ali, but I have to watch how I move, you know, like jab, jab, move, jab, jab, not hard punch, jab, jab, move, jab, sometimes take down, jab, move. Like, to be honest, like my mind, I want to stay 25 minutes. That's why I think so long fight.
And last question, you mentioned briefly in Russian Magomedov. There's been some issues back in with, you know, he's been arrested and having some problems. Is everything, how do you see that working out with FMG, with his sponsorship of you? Is everything okay with that? The appeal in social media to, you know, hope everything's okay with him?
I hope, you know, Ziauddin helped a lot of athletes in Russia, and we have very big team, Eagles MMA in Russia, and you know, but I hope it's okay. You know, we pray for him, and we'll see what's gonna happen. We will see.
Okay.
Thank you.
Khabib, what were you saying to Al in the early portion of the fight? It seemed like you were talking to him. What were you saying to him?
With Yaquinta?
Yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah, we talked a little bit. Like, I give him jab, 1, 2, 3, 4. I said 4. He say 1 more, and I give him fake, you know. And I said no, you know, like little bit talk. I talk with Metzera a little bit, you know.
What'd you say to him?
Like, I take him down. Metzera give him like good stuff. Do this, like, and I think okay, it's working, you know, like, and I talk with him like a little bit, like good job, mate, like this. You know, like it's fun. You know, like if you can speak with your opponent, like play his with mine. You know, if this work, why not? You know, why not? And but with Yaquinta, it's not working. I feel it's not working. He keep going. He is real Brooklyn gangster. He's not Burger King. He's real gangster. You know, come here, fight like man. You know, big respect for him because I watch all his fights. Like even like not this weekend or before, I follow him too. You know, like when he fight Masvidal, Sanchez, Pearson, Lozon, Kevin Lee. He beat a lot of tough guys. You know, 5-win streak, and much respect him. You know, he take this fight, and thank you so much for him.
I spoke with George St. Pierre via the phone, and he said that he thinks that you and the UFC have some business to take care of at 155 before he fights you. So that's
you already talk with him?
Yeah.
What he say?
He says he thinks that you have business to take care of at 155 before he considers fighting you.
I'm gonna send him a message.
What would you say?
Like this, say, where you at, boy? Yeah, like to be honest, like if you ask me about Jorsim, he no need come back. Why he need this? Like he already greatest athlete. Why he need come back or fighting like make 155? He may never fight 155. I don't know.
Do you concede that if you fought Conor, it would be the biggest fight in UFC history? That everything that happened, they showed it on Embedded, no one's shying away from it. If he comes and fights you, given
They already promote this fight, right? What do you think? It's gonna be a big fight?
2 million pay-per-views at least. What do you think?
I hope he's gonna fight. We have to fight, like make world tour.
Yeah.
Everywhere, like Tokyo, Moscow, Dublin, Los Angeles, like Rio, big world tour, promote this fight and fight end of the year, like biggest arena in the world, Madison Square Garden. Why not? Or maybe in Zaire or Philippines. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like I'm here. Hey, he wanna become lightweight champion? He have to fight with me. Now, no more these all fake champions. Now, we're gonna, like, you guys remember when he put tweet, beg me. Please beg me.
Last question. It seemed like everything kind of started after what happened with you and Artem earlier this week. Do you regret anything? Do you kind of wish that that didn't happen so that it didn't lead to what happened with the bus? Or do you feel like whatever happened between you and Artem had to happen, that you had to confront them after, some of the interviews?
You're living 100 years, you have to learn 100 years, Nobody's perfect. Nobody. Like, this is not about me or other guys. Nobody here is perfect, Like, this guy talk shit about me, I catch him. I ask him, hey, you wanna say something in front of my face? Say no. He said, I never talk about you bad. But he talked bad about me, and I don't know. Bring all his slept him. I need these guys. We need to finish these things, beef, chicken, whatever you want, guys. Like, we have to finish this, It's gonna be very big fight. It's gonna be very big fight, I think. Let's go. I'm ready for this, November, September in Moscow, November, New York, like anytime. Let's go. Let's fight in Africa or somewhere. I'm here. Thank you.
Just one more quick one from me. We talked about George St. Pierre. You actually broke his record for the most consecutive rounds won without losing a round in the UFC.
Sorry about this. Which record?
You broke George St. Pierre's record for the most consecutive rounds won without losing a round in a fight. Are you the most dominant fighter in UFC history?
I don't know. I first time hear this. Like.
What do you think?
I think like. I don't want to talk about this, like, oh, I am like this. I think it's media job, my opinion. Thank you. Which record? Tell me one more time.
The most consecutive rounds won. Like, you haven't lost a round in 32 rounds in the UFC.
Okay.
You had 30 rounds.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I fight 30 round in UFC?
Round. Yeah, 32.
I fight 32 round in UFC? No, I understand. I understand. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
チームっていうものを作って勝ち抜き。 think it wants to be itself. It wants to be a new face in this landscape of martial arts.
UFC Fight Pass is your ticket to more than 1,000 live bouts. Check out live events from over a dozen fight organizations, including featured matchups on UFC Fight Pass early prelims. Invicta, the world's premier all-female MMA organization. Catch MMA from the Midwest's action-packed Victory Fighting Championship. See the live jiu-jitsu tournaments on the Eddie Bravo Invitational and the world's best kickboxing on the Glory Super Fight Series. Start your free trial now.